So for our second PBR texture, I'd like to experiment with doing a facade. I think it's quite unique, the idea of being able to create these um, lit offices, creating a sense of a realism of maybe site context. And I'm just going to run through the various techniques that I use to get through to this point, and you can basically now really kind of do this on your own. So let's go back out and look at how we're going to grab a texture. So back to the idea of an outside website, textures.com we'll go to, and I'll show you how we navigate to this specific place if you want to go to find these facades. So we're in Pbr Materials. Let me just shut this down here so you can see what the overall layout is. So I've gone to the library, we've got the Pbr Materials. I'm going to open up the Pbr Materials, and I'm going to go down to Various. And you'll notice it's just a whole host of beautiful textures that are available. And just so happens that I'm way deep in the list. It's remembered that. So if you look at my slider, you'll notice way up here at the top, you really have to go down pretty far before you're going to find these. And they're in the, I don't know, let's see what they call the section. They're in the various of the various. And the facade I grabbed was High Rise 5, but you can select any of these. They'll all have the same kind of effect. So I click into High Rise 5. And once again, my issue right now is I believe that I don't have enough credits available. It's actually going to let me do that. Before it wouldn't. So actually what I'll do is I'll actually just grab another one while we're at it. I'm going to go ahead and go back here, and I'll grab High Rise number 2. Looks kind of interesting. And oops, now it says not enough credits, so I can't actually do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag it down that route. With any of these you want to do, you want to download the albedo, the normal map, the purplish colored one, the roughness one for texture, and very important for the lighting, the emissivity one or emissive one. And once you downloaded those, we can go into Revit then and start creating a new texture. So in going through that process again, because here's where the tricky part of that process is, if I go to create a new material, I'm going to rename that, let's say HR2. And I'm going to go to the appearance palette, and we don't have the same kind of functionality that we're looking for as a PBR material. So remember, we need to go to our asset browser, go to our appearance library, go to miscellaneous, and go to our base material and import our base material as a PBR material. And then that allows us to select imagery here. In this case, our mapping of our graphic. I'm going to go to edit image because I want to make sure that I scale this up large enough. In this case, I'm going to put it in at 120 feet. We want to use roughness as an image. So I'm going to change this to an image and grab our roughness graphics and import it. Once again, I need to change that sample size. We want to grab our bump map. So I'm going to once again, oops, click on image. For some reason, oh, I have to turn it on. Sorry. And we're going to grab a normal map, remember. We're going to open that, and our dialog box is going to ask us to select that as a normal map if we pay attention. I'll turn the depth up just a little bit. and adjust our sample size so it's correct. And we want to do our emissivity, and we're going to select that image again. And we're going to make sure that its sample size is correct. And I've left the luminance down specifically so we can take a look at what happens when we don't have the lights turned off. And I'm going to click Apply, and remember that texture I've called it now is HR2. And what I'll do is I'll actually select this, I'll select this wall type again, and I'm going to go ahead and edit the type. And I won't use the high-rise facade, but I'll use the HR2, which is basically the same thing. All right, but you'll see we don't have any lighting in it. So I'm going to go to our materials, go to HR2, grab our appearance palette, and I'm going to start to bring the luminance up and click Apply. And then you'll notice the lights coming on. And so you want to be real careful here. You don't want to blow out with the lighting. You want to pull this way back. All right, and the other thing is our bump pattern. We may want to make some adjustments on how much relief we have here. So if we click on that, we can make some modifications to the depth. Then that's this reveal here. And so there we go. We basically have now quite a compelling kind of piece of accessory building to go around our site of another building that might be adjacent to or within the vicinity of. And notice the shadow lines here. I'm going to, just to show you how this works, and we're going to go to Graphic Display Options, and we're going to change the lighting on this scene. So right now it's an in-session lighting, and let's say we're going to shift the lighting to the top right. Let's see if that, it's already at the top right. So I'm going to click it to the top left and apply it. And now you notice how radically the lighting on the surface changed and how the shadows on that surface have also significantly changed. So now we have the light coming from another direction and creating a little bit of a shadow detail there. So if we were to go to Still and apply this, we could actually pick just different times of day. Let's say we wanted, basically a summer solstice, and apply it. And we get a resultant kind of shadow play on that surface to give it a more realistic 3D look. So that's obviously just a brief introduction to help you remember and think about the value of these PBR textures. And I would like to see something, similar to this snippet submitted to the in-class participation blog. I hope you enjoyed the process.